Jambs, sill, jambs, head. 1.2 mil it's sunk down. Oh, stonemason, you'll have spotted it already. Samples that we did, I think 5 ton of rebar.
Morning all, back on the farm today. We are going to have a look at where we're up to with this bad boy. We've got Mark here doing the stone, lintels and door sets for this outbuilding. Got some steel here that we're going to be doing some rebar for the ring beam, and we're also doing some CBR testing on the ground conditions for the house, and we'll go through that as well. First of all, let's have a look at this thing. Might have changed a little bit since last time you've seen it. Back wall now is 5 metres to where it should be. We're only having a single pitch roof on this, so that's why it's so high at the back. We've got the front wall in, the centre walls are in. Friday was this storm Amy, so lads just got prepped up, didn't do any building work on Friday, got this scaffolding up and put the blocks on, covered everything up. My last video here, we were looking at the trestle situation, whether we could use them or not. I did some research online, and since then I've seen about 3 companies using them with no guardrails or no handrails or anything. But I looked at it, and you can get the trestles, but you've got to put this like safety bar system that goes up, and it's got handrails and toe boards on. And I looked at them and I thought, wow, well, we could put the scaffolding up for by the time we've put these trestles up with all this added safety precautions on. So I didn't bother with it, we just ended up using the scaffolding, and it fit really nicely inside these buildings. It was a full bay and a half, and it was nearly exactly bang on, so it worked absolutely fantastic. This is the middle room. It's going to be electrical distribution, solar, inverters, battery storage, all the kind of stuff like that. So that's what's going in here. This wall is quite big. Looked on the drawings, didn't think it was going to be this big, but we've got plenty of room in here anyway. These templates have been an absolute godsend. Love building with templates, makes it so much easier. Just fit them in, build around them. And the windows are being made to the size, but minus the OSB lining we've got around them, so they'll fit in there, and it'll give us this. We can get a seal round. We've got now, I think 5 ton of rebar here. Got a 20 mil rebar. Got all these Z bars bent up. Got a bag full of cage bars sitting there, and I think 20 mil bars there. Some little ones, some more there and some more there. Lads have just built this morning now. Currently in cabin, trying to decipher the drawings. They're mental. So we built this because we wanted somewhere flat to build these cages on. They're 6 meters long. So that's what this is for, and it's just at the right height as well, so it'll make it a lot easier. We don't want to be bending down trying to put cages together on the floor, so I thought we'd make a little platform. We've got quite a lot of them to do, so it's take of a couple of hours just to build a little platform. Well worth it. All this, I think, with 50 sheets of mesh here that go for the raft as well. But we've just put them to one side because we don't need them at the minute. We've got to put the full ring beam in first, then the portal frame building goes up, then the raft goes in after that, after we put the bottom 2 course of block work in. That bottom 2 course of block work acts as a shuttering for the raft when we put that in. Second thing that's happening today is, I can't remember what I said. Oh, CBR testing, which stands for Californian base rate. So basically we need to ensure that the ground that we're going to build on has got enough resistance to take the building. I'll see if he's alright to record it when he comes, but they put a steel plate down. We've got the 13 tonner there, and basically you park the 13 tonner over the hole, and then they jack up off the 13 tonner to check the pressure, and obviously as
it pushes into the ground, it takes a measurement, and they do some equations, and I don't know how they work, but anyway, they say it's pass or fail. We've got a measurement that we need to achieve from the structural engineer. They're going to pass, because if they don't pass, we've then got to go back to the structural engineer, tell him we failed, and he'll have to make some adaptations to the foundations. I think they'll just put the spread on the foundations a little bit more, and that'll get the loadings down per square metre. I'm hoping that they don't end up changing all the rebar design, because we've already got it here, but from my experience, they just put more spread on the ring beam, so we should be fine with that. He's coming about, I'm saying he, could be a she. We'll just go and have a look, see what Mark's doing for the stonemasonry side of things, cutting all the stone jambs and lintels and heads up. We've come up with a design. I'm going to show you 3. I'll see whether you agree with me on what we wanted to do. I wanted something a little bit simple that wasn't going to take ages, because we need to follow this all the way through, not the outbuilding but also on the house as well, which would have, I didn't want it to be a laborious task having some massive ornate carved stonework in it, so bear that in mind. So these are the 3 samples that we did. Hang on, let me stand them up. There we go, that's better. So these are what would be a left side of a window jamb, and we just wanted to put something simple in here, cut a 45 on it, and then do some kind of detailing on. I mean, if you want to put a comment in now which one you think's the best. 1, 2, 3. It was a tough choice. They're all fairly standard section to put on. This one's probably the easiest, which is just 45, and then chop that out. Obviously a bit more work in that, and then a little bit more work in that. Anyway, this is what we went for. Just the 2 grooved section. And what he's done is he's cut these heads in as well, so all the heads match. And then this is the sill with the grooves coming down, going into the sill as well. I think they'll look fairly smart when they're in. Put a drip mould underneath the back side of this. And I think these sills stick out about 2.5 inches from the masonry. So we've got a nice drip line underneath. Well, let me know what you think, whether we've chose correctly. If not, I'll get him to make some more. No. Also done the doorsteps, are complete now. That's the 3 doorsteps. What else have we done, Mark? Is that it? Part of another one that's getting done. Oh, Jambs head, and I think, yeah, he's just on with sill now. Little lad's just landed. Mark's happy. A lot more stone now. We've got door jambs and coin stones. This is the second lot of door jambs we've got, because the first ones I ordered 150, be 150, and we cut one up with the chamfer I've just shown you, and it didn't look right. I wanted a bigger section, because it would have been the same section as the windows, and the doors need to be a bit bigger. So anyway, we'll use them other jambs up somewhere else, and we will cut these new ones up. They're the old door jambs there at 150 by 150, but we can recut them down and make it some window sets for house later on. Little lad looks happy to be here, don't you? Yeah. Right, so he's still got it on the bench here. This is the first one, door jamb, that we did. And you can see we put this 45 on it, and then we've only got this little margin. So the new one, it'll look exactly the same. We'll put the same 45 on, but we've got an extra 2 inches on this side. So it'll be a lot wider on this. And then we've got the window jambs, which are narrower. I just think it's all about the detail. It needs to look right, and sometimes you just need to trial and error. We didn't get the masonry drawn up on the drawings and the plans, so we just kind of making it up as we go along, and we're all professionals. We know what we think we know what we're doing anyway. I'll just show you this as well. What's Mark's not impressed with. So we've got three of the window sills here, and if you're a mason or a stonemason, you'll have spotted it already. We're getting clay inclusions in the stone. So this, when he started, was fine. It looked, you know, absolutely spot on. But then as he's cut this sill out, we've got these clay inclusions, and there's one down on the side there. Now, I mean, at the minute, they're not too bad. You can just see where I've scratched it with a knife. But over time, these are going to weather out and leave pits in there. And we're not having that. We don't want pits in our windowsills. So they're going back. The little lad's just going to get this unloaded, and he's going to run them back to Stone Yard. And we'll have to get some more. It's just a little bit annoying that Mark spent, you know, an hour making that sill, and then we come down to these clay inclusions in it. There is a few in some of the other masonry items, but what we're doing is just rotating them so that they're sitting behind and not actually on shore. So some of them we're trying to work with, but when doing the actual cut face, we're looking for perfection on this job, or as near as we can get. Mark's going to start on these sills today. No, not sills. He's going to start on the Quoins today, because lads are going to come back. Last week, I think there was about 10, 12 of them here, so we managed to get a really good push on with that outbuilding. They're all over at Blackburn at the minute, putting the 80 sills we've got to put in there. They're putting a load more sills in there to keep Scott going on that job. They'll be coming back probably next week, so I want to have the Quoins done. We've got the door sills done, and we'll get the door jambs done this week, because we need to start at the bottom obviously and work up. So if we've got the Quoins, the sills and the door jambs, we can then build up to the windows. But it won't take them long, because I think we had 4 or 5 trowels on this last week, so they did get a fair push on it, minus Friday with storm. Amy. A lot of head scratching going on here. Got drawings out and everything. Got guys here to do a test. We've abandoned the whole idea. We've just been talking to him. He hasn't got the stacker plates to do it, and we'd have to dig out the whole machine to get the machine down. So what we're going to do, we've scraped the top off here. We're just going to measure this top section. The ground's only going to get better as we go down anyway, so if we can get a decent reading on this top section, we'll just do a couple of these. So what he's done is he's put a plate down on the ground there, a base plate, which then directs the load out onto a certain size area, and then he's got all these dials, 3 dials on there, with an hydraulic jack in with a power pack, and then basically what he does is just pressurizes that ram up, and it forces that plate into the ground, and then these dials just measure down how much that plate sunk into the ground. And we've got 13 ton of machine on top, so we're not going to end up jacking the machine up, but the plate will sink into the ground, and then it's just that measurement that we need to record. And I think we're down at 1.2 mil it's sunk down, so apparently that's pretty good. We did try wiring all these together with the wire. We got some like wire ties and pullers, but it was just flopping around everywhere. So we have now decided to weld them all together. We're just going to get a lot more structural rigidity in the frame itself, and when we're craning them around, I think it's going to be a lot better, and I think it's going to be quicker as well, to be honest. Anyway, little lads loving welding all these up now. I think there's only about 30 of these to make. Spoke with a guy for the CBR tests, and everything's worked out all right with them. I think he said we've got 8% and 10%, which is, I think he said about 90 kilonewton per square metre. So it's all good. We did 3 tests on here. We did one down here, one in middle, and then one at this end as well. We have been left with a bit of a mess here. It's a bit of a bog. It's all, we've been driving in it and it's been raining and it's just turned to slop now as all this. And little lads just moved these blocks out of the way. What I'm thinking I'm going to do tomorrow is, when we flatten the house, we just kind of leveled this to a rough grade. We never did anything with it, but it's actually higher over there than it is down here. So what I'm thinking, tomorrow I'll bring the laser grading level and we'll set like a 3-4% grade running down here, and we'll just run across the site and dig that backside off, give it all back at bucket with machine, and what it'll do is any water that's going to rain on it then will go down behind that retaining wall. Today, not gone too well, still on the first one, but we run out of the flux cord wire that we're using in the welder because we only had a bit of a spool left up in yard, so I brought that down. Local merchants instead of one. I had to go over to Preston for some, so we've got this going now. We've got a couple of rolls in it, so we're all set to go. Tomorrow we're going to smash them out. This is what we're looking like. We've got 8 bars, 20 mil, top and bottom, and the cage sections inside, and then these sections come up and go into the raft then. So what we're going to do when we concrete this up, we're going to concrete up to about this level here, and these will be sticking out, and then we'll get the building up and everything, and then we'll put the raft in. So I think we've got about, I think Lad said we've got about 30 of these. No, I don't think there's 30, maybe 20. Between 20 and 30. I think now we've done one, tomorrow's going to be a piece of cake. Anyway, let's go and have a look, see what Mark's doing. I think he's done most of the windows now. Sweet corners on that. So that's going to be gable side, yep. And then we'll run it down there. The next one will sit on top of that, all the way up. Windows, jambs, sill, jambs, head, sills. Woo. Sweet. Yeah, so we've just got these discs which cut and then also polish as well. And then we've got a polishing grinder as well here. What grit's that?
That's 100 that.
Yeah, 100 grit polishing pad on it as well for going over it. But these are all, we use these Milwaukee variable speed grinders so we can alter the speed on them. And that's it, 2 done. Well, let's just put them up and see what they look like. And that's what we look like when it's done. So we've got a cut edge in here, and then as masonry we'll just finish back down at this edge here, and these will stand proud of the stonework that we're going to put in it. And then yeah, just stack these up. Looks good. Bit of a different day that. Welding, stone masonry, stone carving, loads of stuff. Also, if you can do me a big favour, on YouTube now we've got this heart button. So if you go on your mobile phone, find the video, you can harp it. Apparently it helps little people like me to get a few more subscribers and boost it up. So anyway, if you could please just, and yeah, might just help get it out a little bit more for what we do. Anyway, that's it. I'm going. Catch you in a bit.